Garrett Whitfield walked into my office Tuesday morning like he already owned the place. 3 executives I'd known for over 20 years followed behind him like trained dogs. The kid was 28 years old with an MBA that still smelled like fresh ink, while I'd spent 26 years building our supply chain operations from nothing. "Everyone, I'd like you to meet Mac," Garrett announced, pointing at me like I was some piece of broken equipment. "He'll be handling legacy vendor relationships while I optimize our Asia-Pacific operations from now on." Mac reports directly to me. Nobody said anything. Luis from legal wouldn't look at me. Neither would Pete from operations, or even Diana, who'd brought me coffee every morning for 10 years. They all suddenly found their shoes very interesting. "We're implementing AI-driven logistics optimization," our CEO Brad Hayes explained, putting his hand on Garrett's shoulder. "Mac's institutional knowledge will help Garrett understand our historical patterns while we modernize everything." I was being turned into a museum piece. Still breathing but obsolete. My name is Marcus Sullivan, but everyone calls me Mac. I'm 55 years old, Navy veteran, divorced father of a 17-year-old son named Aaron. Until that Tuesday morning, I was Senior Director of Supply Chain Operations at Hayes Manufacturing, an automotive parts company in Toledo, Ohio. We make components for Ford and GM, real American manufacturing that keeps this town running. Started here right after my discharge from the Navy, when Toledo still had steel mills and good union jobs that could support a family. "Your new workspace is by the loading dock," Garrett told me, pointing toward a cramped desk near the warehouse entrance. "I need this office cleared by lunch for the new analytics equipment. My office, where I'd negotiated million-dollar contracts with suppliers, where that photo of me and Admiral Yamamoto still hung on the wall, the handshake that saved us $2 million during the 2019 trade war, where Jimmy O'Brien from Local 245 and I had worked out the deal that kept 300 jobs here instead of shipping them to Mexico." "Roger that," I said, keeping my voice steady. Old habits from the Navy. I rotated my wedding ring around my finger, force of habit when the operational status went from green to yellow. 3 hours later, I watched facilities guys haul my filing cabinets away in cardboard boxes while Garrett directed computer technicians installing servers where my desk used to be. These weren't just files to me. This was 26 years of operational intelligence, supplier relationships that had taken decades to build, crisis management protocols that had kept our production lines running when everyone else was shutting down. "The old conference table goes too," he told them. "We're going fully digital. That table where I'd hosted supplier dinners for 15 years, where handshake deals were made that kept our production lines running during the pandemic, where Jimmy and I had hammered out the overtime agreements that saved Christmas bonuses for the whole plant." My new workspace was a folding table with a computer that took 10 minutes to boot up. Felt like being demoted from bridge officer to deck swabber. My phone rang immediately. "Mac, it's Pete. Garrett just called an operations meeting in conference room B. When's the briefing right now?" He said it's for department heads only. So I was being cut out of tactical planning with my own supply chain team. After 26 years of mission-critical operations. "Copy that," I said. The ring went around my finger again. After hanging up, I found an email from Garrett to the entire department. Subject: streamlining operations, moving beyond legacy inefficiencies. I opened the attachment and might as well have taken a torpedo amidships. These weren't just similar ideas to my 2023 supply chain optimization proposal. These were my exact recommendations, word for word, down to the specific cost savings projections for our Thai and Vietnamese operations. The same proposals Brad had called too aggressive when I presented them 18 months ago. The kid had lifted my strategic assessment and was presenting it as his own operational plan. A sticky note appeared on my folding table at 4:30, my office, 5 p.m. sharp. Garrett, I found him leaning against my former desk, typing on his laptop without looking up. The whole setup reminded me of junior officers who thought their commission made them admirals. "Sit," he said. I stayed standing. The ring started rotating again. He finally looked up. "Your Asia-Pacific optimization strategy got great feedback in today's executive meeting." "You mean my Asia-Pacific strategy?" His smile didn't budge. "Your research provided useful groundwork. But groundwork isn't architecture, Mac. I've modernized and elevated your basic concepts into something that actually scales. You copied my work word for word in some sections." "That's a serious accusation," he said, closing his laptop, "especially from someone in your position." "My position." Like I was some broken-down chief petty officer who'd outlived his usefulness. People who've been at one company too long often become territorial about outdated methods. Brad understands this transition period might be challenging for you. So that's why he cut me out of my own team meeting. He'd been conducting intelligence gathering operations against me. I needed honest feedback about operational leadership efficiency. People aren't always comfortable providing real assessments with legacy management sitting there. I got what he meant. He'd been collecting after-action reports on my performance, turning my own people into sources. We're restructuring the department next month, he continued. Some positions will be consolidated, others will evolve. Your future here depends entirely on how well you adapt to new systems. The threat was clear as a sonar ping. Anything else? I asked. Yes, the Yamamoto contract renewal tomorrow. I'll be handling it. Yamamoto Industries, my client for 16 years. Admiral Yamamoto had specifically requested me to handle their annual review. We'd built that relationship during my Navy days when I was stationed in Yokosuka. I spoke with Yamamoto-san this morning. He understands our new operational direction. Garrett was systematically stripping away everything I'd built. My responsibilities, my relationships, my operational command structure. That's all, he said, looking back at his laptop. I walked out, passing the glass conference room where my team was still meeting. They went quiet when they saw me, eyes darting away like I'd been relieved of command for cause. Whatever Garrett had told them had poisoned the well. On my folding table, a new email from HR, Performance Improvement Plan, confidential, a formal PIP, first step toward getting drummed out. The document cited resistance to new methodologies and territorial behavior regarding operational changes. Same language they used to push out Chief Martinez last year when the new management wanted younger blood. I'd given 26 years to this company. Missed Aaron's Little League games for emergency supplier calls. Worked through Christmas breaks to prevent production shutdowns. Postponed my divorce settlement meetings to save key contracts. Hell, I'd even taken a pay cut during the 2008 recession to keep Jimmy's guys employed. Now I was being pushed out by someone who'd built his entire strategy on my operational plans. I packed my things without saying goodbye to anyone. In my pickup truck, a 2015 F-150 that I'd bought used from Dearborn Ford because I believe in supporting American workers, I sat for 20 minutes in the parking lot, rotating my wedding ring. But instead of getting steamed up like they probably expected, I started thinking tactically. The Navy taught me something about gathering intelligence when you're under fire. You don't return fire blindly. You identify the threat, assess their capabilities, develop a comprehensive operational plan, then respond with overwhelming force at the right moment. I drove home to my place on Bancroft Street, a 2-bedroom ranch that I'd bought after the divorce. Nothing fancy, but it was paid for, and Aaron had his own room for weekends. The house was quiet. Aaron was at football practice, wouldn't be back until 8. I pulled out my external hard drive, the one where I'd backed up every project, every email, every supplier contract for the past 15 years. Call it operational security. In the Navy, we learned that institutional knowledge was a strategic asset. You don't let it walk out the door when personnel rotate. What I found as I searched through those archives made my hands steady for the first time all day. I worked through the night, cross-referencing, connecting dots, building a complete intelligence picture. By 0300 hours, I had something that made me take off my wedding ring for the first time in months. Garrett had made a critical tactical error. He assumed my value came from my title, my office, my direct reports. He thought by taking those away, he'd neutralize the threat. What he didn't understand was that my real operational capability came from 26 years of watching, listening, and remembering. From supplier relationships built on mutual respect rather than algorithms. From knowing exactly how our operations functioned at every level minus knowledge no org chart could capture. The kid had forgotten that chief petty officers run the Navy, not the fresh-faced ensigns. Around 0400, I found what I was looking for. A pattern that made my blood run cold. Garrett's previous employer, Consolidated Manufacturing in Detroit, had gone belly up 6 months after he left. Same playbook. Same promises about optimization and modernization. Same systematic dismantling of experienced management. But here's what made it interesting. 3 months before Consolidated filed for bankruptcy, a private equity group called Pacific Rim Holdings had acquired their supplier network for pennies on the dollar. And guess who had received a $50,000 consulting fee from Pacific Rim just before he left Detroit? I pulled up Hayes Manufacturing's corporate filings. Pacific Rim Holdings now owned 35% of our company, acquired during the merger. The same private equity group that was systematically buying up American manufacturing assets. This wasn't just some ambitious MBA stealing my ideas. This was industrial espionage. I got to work early, 0633 hours, before the security guards finished their rounds, placed a single manila folder on Garrett's desk with a simple note, for your review. Historical Supplier Payment Analysis 2019-2024. Respectfully submitted. M. Sullivan. Then I left to handle my 8 a.m. call with our Bangkok facility, the one remaining operational briefing still on my calendar. When I returned at 10:30 hours, something had clearly happened. People were huddled in small groups, conversations stopping when I passed. Security guards stood outside the executive wing. Brad and the entire leadership team were behind closed doors. Diana hurried over, eyes wide. Mac, what did you put in that folder? Historical context, I said. Pattern analysis. Garrett ran into Brad's office 20 minutes ago, looking like he'd seen a ghost. Then security came. They're talking to people from corporate headquarters. I nodded and sat at my folding table. Jimmy O'Brien appeared a few minutes later, Union cap pulled low. Mac, what the hell's going on? Half the floor's buzzing about federal investigators. Just connecting some dots, Jimmy. Making sure people understand what they're dealing with. This about that pretty boy they put over you. I looked around, made sure we weren't being overheard. Jimmy, you remember what happened to the consolidated plant in Detroit? 400 jobs lost when they went under. His face went hard. Yeah, my cousin Danny worked there. Good union shop until some MBA hotshot came in promising to modernize everything. Same MBA hotshot. Jimmy sat down hard. Jesus, Mac, you saying this kid's running the same game here? I'm saying the pattern's identical. And the same private equity group that picked apart Consolidated now owns a third of Hayes. How many jobs we talking about? All of them if they succeed. Jimmy's hands clenched into fists. What do you need from Local 245? Right now, nothing. But keep your people ready. This might get messy before it gets better. At noon, Brad's assistant appeared. Mr. Sullivan, Mr. Hayes requests your presence in the executive conference room immediately. The walk felt like being called to captain's mast. Eyes followed me down every hallway. Whatever was happening had spread through the entire facility like wildfire. I found Brad seated at the head of the table with our legal counsel and HR director. Some guy in an expensive suit I didn't recognize sat next to them. Federal investigator, probably. Garrett was nowhere to be seen. Sit down, Mac, Brad said. His voice had the weight of a man who just realized his ship was taking on water. I chose a seat directly across from him, hands steady on the table. The file you left for Garrett? Brad began, his expression unreadable. Where did you get this information? From our company archives and publicly available financial records, I said. Standard intelligence gathering protocols. The man in the expensive suit leaned forward. Mr. Sullivan, I'm Agent Richardson from the FBI's Economic Crimes Unit. You've made extremely serious allegations about industrial espionage. I haven't made allegations, I corrected him. I compiled operational data. The patterns speak for themselves. Brad rubbed his temples like he was fighting off a migraine. Mac, you're claiming Garrett deliberately implemented supplier payment modifications at his previous company that led to their bankruptcy, and now he's replicating those same modifications here. The data supports that tactical assessment, yes, sir. That's absurd, said Sarah Mitchell, our legal counsel. Why would anyone deliberately sabotage their own employer? I met her gaze. 3 months before his previous company filed for Chapter 11, Garrett received a substantial consulting fee from Pacific Rim Holdings, the same private equity group that later acquired Consolidated Supplier Network for 20 cents on the dollar. The same Pacific Rim Holdings that now owns 35% of Hayes Manufacturing following our merger. The room went quiet, except for the hum of the air conditioning. Agent Richardson was taking notes. You understand what you're implying, Mr. Sullivan. I'm showing you numbers, dates, and financial transactions that exist in public records. The operational pattern is identical. Same timeline, same methodology, same endgame. Sarah's phone buzzed. She looked at it, then stood up fast. We need to contact the Securities and Exchange Commission immediately. When she left, Brad stared at me like he was seeing me for the first time. Garrett claims you're retaliating because of the performance improvement plan, that you fabricated this conspiracy theory. I opened my laptop. Would you like to see the original source documents? Everything's cross-referenced with timestamps. Agent Richardson nodded. We'll need copies of everything. Brad's desk phone rang. He answered it, his face getting paler with each word. When he hung up, he looked like he'd aged 10 years. Garrett has been suspended pending federal investigation, he said. The SEC's corporate fraud division is flying in tonight. Roger that he studied me carefully. Mac, you've been with us 26 years. Why didn't you bring this to me directly instead of going through this process? I thought about that. Brad, would you have believed me over the rising star who promised to cut supplier costs by 30% in 6 months? The Ivy League MBA with all the right buzzwords? His silence answered everything. You authorized him to place me on administrative review after 2 decades of clean evaluations, I continued. You allowed him to dismantle my supplier relationships without consultation. You applauded when he presented my operational strategies as his own innovations. Brad winced. I thought he represented the future, and you represented the past. I finished for him. I understand the tactical situation from your perspective. Agent Richardson closed his notebook. Mr. Sullivan, we're going to need a formal statement. This appears to be part of a larger pattern we've been tracking. How large? At least 12 manufacturing companies across the Midwest, all targeted by the same network. He stood up. We'll also need you to remain available for testimony. This could go to federal court. 2 weeks later, the investigation had blown wide open. Garrett didn't just get fired, he got arrested. FBI Financial Crimes Unit. The local news showed him in handcuffs being led out of his downtown apartment, looking nothing like the confident MBA who'd walked into my office. The investigation revealed that Garrett was part of a larger network of corporate operatives. Industrial espionage designed to weaken American manufacturing companies for foreign acquisition. Pacific Rim Holdings was actually controlled by a Chinese manufacturing conglomerate that had been systematically targeting Rust Belt companies for the past 5 years. My phone rang constantly after that. Reporters from the Toledo Blade, the Detroit Free Press, even the Wall Street Journal, board members from other companies, regulatory officials from Washington. But the call that mattered most came on a Thursday evening while Aaron and I were working on his college applications. Dad, phone's for you, Aaron said, covering the receiver. Says he's from Congress. Mr. Sullivan, this is Congressman Rodriguez's office. The House Committee on Industrial Security would like you to testify about protecting American manufacturing from foreign infiltration. Aaron raised his eyebrows. His old man was going to Washington. That weekend, Jimmy O'Brien organized a celebration at Murphy's Tavern downtown. Half the plant showed up. Guys I'd worked with for decades. Even some of the front office people who'd been avoiding me during the whole mess. To Max Sullivan, Jimmy raised his beer for saving our asses and keeping Hayes Manufacturing in American hands. The whole place erupted. Pete Williams came over with tears in his eyes. Mac, I'm sorry. I should have stood up for you when Garrett was running his mouth. Forget about it, Pete. You did what you thought was right at the time. Diana hugged me so tight, I thought she might crack a rib. You saved 400 jobs, Mac. My kids get to keep their health care because of you. But the moment that meant the most came when Luis Rodriguez pulled me aside. Mac, my father worked at the Ford plant for 30 years before they closed it down. Said the same thing happened there. Some hotshot came in promising efficiency. Then the whole operation got shipped to Mexico. He always wondered if somebody could have stopped it, if they'd just paid attention to what was really going on. 3 months later, I was consulting for 4 different companies, all wanting help identifying potential insider threats and protecting their operational security. Turns out my experience with Garrett made me something of an expert in corporate counterintelligence. The money was better than I'd ever made at Hayes. Aaron's college fund was more than secure now. Hell, the kid could go to Ohio State without taking out a single loan. He'd gotten that football scholarship to Toledo, but State offered him a better academic package for engineering. Dad, Aaron said one evening while we were working on his 1967 Mustang in the garage, a project we'd started after I had more time on my hands. Mom called. She wanted to apologize for what she said during the divorce about you being too stubborn to adapt. I looked up from the carburetor I was rebuilding. What'd you tell her? That sometimes being stubborn is just another word for being right. Smart kid, smarter than his old man in some ways. My reputation was stronger than it had ever been. Companies across the Midwest were calling, wanting someone who understood how to protect American manufacturing from the inside. The consulting work paid twice what Hayes had, and I could pick my assignments. But the real satisfaction came 6 months later when I got a call from Washington. Mr. Sullivan, this is Senator Williams' office. The Industrial Security Act passed committee yesterday. Your testimony was instrumental in getting the votes we needed. The legislation required background checks for any executive position involving supply chain management at companies with defense contracts. It also mandated disclosure of foreign investment in private equity groups targeting American manufacturers. Too late for Consolidated in Detroit, but it would protect a lot of other plants. I testified before Congress 3 more times over the next year. Each time I wore my dress blues from the Navy. Figure if you're representing American workers, you ought to look the part. The highlight came when Admiral Yamamoto himself flew in from Tokyo for the congressional hearing on trade security. We had dinner afterward at the old Ebbett Grill in D.C. 2 old sailors talking about protecting what we'd built. Sullivan, son, he said over sake, your loyalty to your people is very impressive. This is why our partnership has endured so many years. Just doing my job, Admiral. No, you did much more than your job. You protected not just Hayes Manufacturing but the entire relationship between our countries. Trust is not easily rebuilt once it is broken. Back home in Toledo, things were looking up all around. Hayes Manufacturing got a new CEO, a woman named Patricia Hernandez who'd worked her way up from the factory floor. First thing she did was reinstate my consulting contract and give Jimmy O'Brien a seat on the board of directors. Aaron graduated high school as valedictorian and captain of the football team. Decided on Ohio State for mechanical engineering with a full academic scholarship. Kid wanted to design better manufacturing equipment, maybe start his own company someday. Dad, I want to build something that can't be outsourced, he told me the night before he left for Columbus. Something that has to stay here in Ohio. We were in the garage, putting the finishing touches on the Mustang's engine. The car was finally roadworthy after 2 years of weekend work together. That's the spirit, son. Keep the good jobs here where they belong. You taught me that. You and what happened with Garrett. I looked at him, this young man who'd grown up watching his father get knocked down and get back up. What did you learn from all that? That having principles isn't always easy, but it's always right. And that experience matters, no matter what anybody says. He paused, wiping grease off a wrench. And that you don't have to be the loudest guy in the room to be the most dangerous. The weekend Aaron left for college, I drove the Mustang down to Lake Erie, parked on the bluff and watched the freighters heading toward Detroit with loads of steel and grain, American cargo on American ships heading to American ports. My phone rang, unknown number with a DC area code. Mr. Sullivan, this is Colonel Martinez from the Defense Intelligence Agency. We have a situation involving potential foreign infiltration at a defense contractor in Michigan. Would you be available for a classified consultation? I smiled, watching a Great Lakes freighter disappear into the distance. Roger that, Colonel. When do you need me? 5 years after Garrett Whitfield walked into my office, I was making more money than I'd ever dreamed of, helping protect American manufacturing from coast to coast. Aaron was working as a design engineer for Ford, creating the next generation of electric vehicle components right here in Michigan. The Mustang still ran like a dream. My wedding ring still rotated when I was thinking hard about a problem. And Jimmy O'Brien still bought me a beer every Friday at Murphy's. But the best part was knowing that 400 families in Toledo still had good jobs because somebody paid attention to the details that mattered. The Chinese conglomerate behind Pacific Rim Holdings, they got hit with $200 million in fines and were banned from investing in American manufacturing. Garrett and his network of corporate spies, they're doing federal time for industrial espionage and Hayes Manufacturing. Still making parts for Ford and GM, still employing good people, still flying the American flag outside the front gate. Sometimes things work out the way they're supposed to. Look, if you've stayed with me through this whole story, you know this wasn't just about some office politics or one man's revenge. This was about what happens when foreign interests try to gut American manufacturing from the inside. When smooth-talking operatives think they can fool people who've been building things with their hands for decades. But here's what I learned, and what every working man in this country needs to understand. Your experience, your relationships, your knowledge of how things really work, that's power they can't take away from you. They can move your desk, steal your ideas, even put you on a performance plan, but they can't change who you are or what you've built over decades of honest work. Too many good people get pushed around by operators who think credentials trump character, who think an MBA means more than 20 years on the factory floor. But when push comes to shove, when the real work needs to get done, they need people like us, people who know how to build things that last. The next time some hotshot walks into your workplace talking about optimization and modernization, pay attention to where the money's really coming from. Ask questions. Trust your gut. And remember that sometimes the best way to fight back isn't getting mad. It's getting smart, staying patient, and building a case so solid they can't tear it down. Your country needs you to stay vigilant. Your community needs you to stand up when it counts. And your kids need you to show them that doing the right thing still matters, even when it's hard. Don't let them ship our future overseas without a fight.